Alrighty guys, so welcome back for another Dokkan Battle video, and today what I just wanted to talk about are some units that from the Tournament of Power that we can implement in the game, because honestly the Tournament of Power is such a massive arc in the game. There's so many characters and there's so many fights in the Tournament of Power. And so the first unit that we have here that I personally would love is a Golden Frieza and an Ultimate Gohan. So as you know, Frieza and Gohan teamed up to get rid of Dispo. This is when Dispo went into a super hyper light speed mode. And so again, this is a unit that I think would be a very, very good unit. Honestly, I do want to see it because I think it would be really interesting to see whether it would be like an extreme or a super type, or it could be like the first dual super and extreme type card in the game, because you got Frieza and then you got Gohan. As well as the super attack animations could be really unique, because again you could have Frieza doing his like lasers, shooting out of his hands, and while like Gohan then fights Dispo, and then I think Frieza knocks both Gohan and Dispo out of the ring. That's how they win. But again, they could do a unit like that. I mean, it would be a really nice dual card, first one ever in the game. Kind of like with Goku and Frieza, it would be the first Gohan and Frieza card ever. So I think it would be really, really unique, and just something that brings some new stuff to the game. Do I think they're Dokkan Fest exclusive worthy? Honestly, I could see them being a Dokkan Fest exclusive worthy, because releasing next to them could be a transforming Dispo. As you know, we do have Dispo already, but its Dokkan Awakened form is in the super maximum light speed mode. But again, we can just get a normal base Dispo that then transforms into a super hyper light speed mode, and then it could be like a dual Dokkan Fest with that Frieza and Gohan. I mean, that could easily be maybe like a Golden Week unit. I could see that also being just like a random dual Dokkan Fest that they have throughout the year to fill in some gaps. Because honestly, I think that they would sell pretty well. Personally, I'm a big fan of Dispo. I think a lot of people maybe don't talk about him all that much, but he was a pretty powerful force during the Tournament of Power. So again, those are my first two kind of like pairs. Of course, not all the units on this list are going to be in pairs. And another thing is, since there's so many units in the Tournament of Power, this is just going to be part 1. I am going to make a part 2 later, as well as take on the youth stage, because again, I did say in my last, well, not my last video, but the video before that, when I took on the, I believe it was the Universe 6 Infinite Dragon Ball History stage, that I was having some technical difficulties. Yesterday, the only reason why I only posted that one video about like top grossing, Hercule, legendary campaign, and the Link level up system coming, is because again, I was trying to fix that and it really was not responding. But fortunately, I did manage to fix it in time, so we're gonna get back onto our regular schedule of maybe 1 or 2 videos per day. So anyways, again, those are my first 2 units that I thought of. Personally, I think that they would sell really well. Like I said before, I could see them being maybe a dual Dokkan Fest, or maybe this Dispo could be a banner unit. But personally, if they do make him a banner unit, I really want to see a really strong dominant Dispo, because again, we do have the EZA one, but again, that guy's just the super maximum light speed mode, and this guy would be a transformation based character. Next one is a Toppo, Jiren, and Dispo. Now, again, this unit can be interesting in several different ways. Of course, they could just have the Dokkan Awakened form just be Jiren, Dispo, and Toppo, or they could do an exchange unit where at first it's going to be these guys, and then Dispo and Toppo then leave, and then it's just a Jiren, so that we could have like another Jiren card in the game. Because as you know, we have the LR full power one, and then we have the SDR just regular Jiren card. So again, they could do something like that to bring more Jiren cards into the game, because again, Jiren really only has 2 forms, just his regular base form, and then when he goes full power. So again, guys, that's like an idea that I had. Or they could just leave the card like this, like as a trio when they're fighting UI Goku, they could do that. Have like a combined super attack like that. So again, this would be a really interesting card. I think it would sell pretty well. Again, usually Tournament of Power units are gonna do well, because again, Tournament of Power is in my opinion, really just really hype. And this is actually LR worthy in my opinion. This, I think they should make an LR. Do I think that they should make it a free-to-play LR? No. This for sure can be a legendary summon banner LR. You know, all of them against this guy, Anaraza. It's when, you know, they all team up to take down Anaraza. I think this is LR worthy for sure. Do I think it's Dokkan Festival worthy? Absolutely. Because again, this was actually a really cool moment in the Tournament of Power. You know, all of them there, you know, fighting to take him down. Again, an idea that I had with this card actually would be an exchange unit. So this could be like, you know, Nappa and Vegeta, an LR exchange card. They could have it like this, you know, completely in its LR form, have them like this, and then it could exchange into Android 17. You know, when he, you know, breaks formation, and then he goes and he punches the red, this red thing on Anaraza's head, which then it shatters, and then it basically defeats him. So again, we could have, you know, kind of like an active skill attack. Again, it doesn't have to be an exchange thing. It could be an active skill attack where, you know, 17 goes and then he punches Anaraza in the head, and then, you know, defeats them. And then, as you know, again, Anaraza would also be another card. Again, Anaraza, he didn't have a whole lot of, I would say, screen time, but in that time, you know, he was shown to be a really strong, dominant force in the Tournament of Power. I think he is worthy of his own card. They could have two versions of him, because as you know, he's from Universe 3, and he's the fusion of, I believe it is, so it's 3 machines from Universe 3, and then it's the Doctor, like this weird Doctor guy from Universe 3, that then they kind of like all merge together to create Anaraza. They can make a transformation version of him, you know, where it's just that those machines, then the Doctor dude, they transform into Anaraza, or they could just make a, you know, a base Anaraza card. So again, you know, they could have, I mean, even this could be a dual Dokkan Fest in and of itself. Anaraza, Frieza, Android 17, Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan. I think it would sell extremely well. Again, obviously most people would probably go for these units, but again, Anaraza I think is someone who is Dokkan Fest worthy. And then, like I said before, they could either make it an active skill attack transformation, or they could just give us, you know, this as a card in and of itself. You know, a card of Android 17 going and, you know, defeating Anaraza with that shield punch. I think would be a really nice card as well. Our next unit is the 3 machines that I was talking about that make up Anaraza. Again, these guys merge together to then with, where is he? With this guy. So this guy right here, this Doctor Dude, then fuses with the 3 machines that I just pulled up. Where are they? Yeah, these guys. So these guys then with the Doctor fuse to make Anaraza. So again, they can make that a card, like I was saying before. But again, these guys can be a card themselves. Of course, they can all just be a transformation unit. They start out with, you know, all 3 of them in one card, and then they transform into, you know, their fused state. And these guys actually fight Ultimate Gohan. So, you know, they could give us another Ultimate Gohan from the Tournament of Power, you know, when he fights these guys. But personally, I would... Actually, you know what? They can, because, again, the Frieza Ultimate Gohan, that wouldn't really clash with each other. So they could give us the Ultimate Gohan that fights these guys, which would be really interesting in my opinion. And I think it's just good to give, you know, better versions of Ultimate Gohan. Because, as you know, we do have a transforming one that released on JP recently, but I think, you know, a really good, like, god level Ultimate Gohan would be really nice, because again, I wouldn't mind replacing the STR one, and I don't think a lot of people would complain either. Next unit, Android 16 and 17, no, 18, oh lord, Android 18 and 17 versus Vieira. Again, this is a guy from Universe 3. If I can maybe find him here in the list of all the fighters, I believe it's this guy that they fight, who boasts about his defense. So again, they could make a card where 18 and 17 are fighting this guy. And I actually didn't know his name, so I couldn't pull him up. Again, they can make him a card as well. They can make him a banner card, and this can just be a Dokkan Fest banner. So again, 17 and 18 when they fight Vieira would actually be a really good card. I think it's just going to be a great card in general. You know, 17 and 18, I get, in my opinion, are cards that would sell. Again, and, you know, just make them really strong, really dominant would be really nice. Because, you know, this card could actually help AGL Krillin that released with the LR Blue Boys. because that Krillin, in order to awaken his full power, needs a Android 18 on the same attacking rotation. So you can run, you know, Krillin in this 18. Obviously, they would have to make your AGL, because again, that Krillin, you know, you could use in Super Battle Road as well as Extreme Super Battle Road. So, you know, they can make it AGL, and they could, you know, work together. So again, that's just an idea. If they made her AGL, she would, you know, benefit that Krillin. But you know, I think they should just make this a really dominant card as well. You know, because 18 and 17 really do deserve it. They did a whole lot in the Tournament of Power, especially 17 towards the end. And then they could give us a Ribrianne, Cocoon Sun, Rosie that transform. It could be just like an instant transforming unit, kind of like the Ribrianne is. And so is the Launch that just got her Dokkan Awakening. You know, once they step onto the battlefield, they could all transform. Or they can make it like an active skill transformation, I think would also be pretty good. Because again, you know, we don't really have, you know, base form versions of these girls. We do have the Ribrianne, but in terms of Cocoon Sun and Rosie, we don't have just base versions of them like they are right here. I mean, they could do several iterations of this card. Again, they could do a transform version where all three of them are all transformed and have them like that. Or they could do it like this. Personally, I think the transforming unit would be better because, of course, you know, you got active skills, you got animations, which make the game super good, super interesting. So again, they could do a card just like this, you know, where they get in, so when they get into the battlefield, I mean, they transform, or they can maybe transform turn 3 so that we can maybe see a unique super attack animation for all of them, you know, in their base forms. And then we have Basil. Now, we do have a Bergamo, but we really don't have, you know, really solid cards for the other two brothers, Basil and Lavender. And so Basil can also be a transforming unit. So they could do 2 card versions for Basil. They could do a base that transforms into this form. I don't know what it's exactly called, but he just gets super jacked in his legs when he's fighting Majin Buu in the preliminary. So again, they could give us a base Basil, transforms into this, you know, jacked version of himself. And then they could just give us a solid jacked version of Basil. I don't know what they would call him if he would have a different name, but they could do that. So again, and then along with Basil, again, this could be kind of like a dual card thing. Do I think they're Dokkan Fest worthy? Probably not. But you know, they could just be like really solid banner cards. Is a Majin Buu. We could get another good Majin Buu that fights Basil, because honestly, Majin Buu was actually really good in this fight. He was actually, I would say, trolling Basil more than anything. He really wasn't trying at all. And then like Basil's like trying his best to defeat Majin Buu, but Majin Buu's just like playing around with him. Again, this, I mean, they could give us this super attack. Could be a super attack animation. You know, he has a lot of attacks that he does during this fight, you know, because he's just, you know, messing around with Basil. So again, they could give us a really good Majin Buu from the tournament. Well, not the Tournament of Power. It's the exhibition matches. You know, they could give us a really nice Buu. And then the final unit in this part 1 would be a Lavender. Again, we don't have a really good version of, you know, just Lavender himself. I mean, they could give us a Lavender. As far as I know, Lavender doesn't really have a transformation, so they could just give us, you know, just Lavender as he is. Of course, you know, his super attacks could be, you know, when he coats his arms in his poison. And then along with Lavender, they could give us a Gohan that transforms from like base to Super Saiyan. You know, because Lavender does end up poisoning Gohan's eyes, making Gohan blind. So again, like right here, you know, he does poison Gohan's eyes, so they could give us a Gohan from his fight with Lavender. Of course, it would be a base Gohan that then turns into Super Saiyan, which would be really good because, again, in terms of just a really like good base, you know, adult Gohan, I'm not entirely sure if we have a lot of those, but they could give us a base Gohan that then transforms into Super Saiyan as well. And then, as you know, they could release Lavender with him as well. So that's going to do for today, guys. Again, you guys can comment down below maybe some other card ideas that you guys have. Again, this is just going to be part 1. I am going to make another video on this because I do really enjoy making videos on it, you know, because there's so many, you know, cool, amazing combinations that we can do with cards. You know, speaking on this, they could just make a Toppo and Dispo card. You know, there's a lot of combinations that they could do. So again, that's going to do for today, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one.